Welcome, Corey, Kent. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We are thrilled to have you here. We can't wait for you to hit the stage here at Smokeout. But I have to say, I want to go backwards because when I read this, I had to read it a couple times.
Okay.
So you started your musical career on stage at 11 years old. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I'll never forget it. But I got to preface this by saying that sounds like I was some sort of like child prodigy.
Okay.
That's not the case. Okay. Like, I was the kid that like didn't make the basketball team because I couldn't touch the net. So I played guitar instead, right? Like, guitar was the first thing that I ever enjoyed the practice of. Music, I would lock myself in my room for hours and practice.
Can we talk numbers? Because it's mind-boggling to me. And it probably is to you, too. Wild as Her.
Yeah.
Over 300 million views. So when you hear that, what does that mean?
It is hard to wrap your head around because, well, when I recorded that song, I was working at a pavement company in Dallas, Texas. You know, the world had shut down. I got dropped from my publishing deal in Nashville. My wife and I picked our family up and we moved to Texas to raise our kids around grandparents, really was the motivation. Is, you know, we didn't want to put music so far at the front of our lives that it hindered our kids from having the upbringing we really wanted for them. So really, it was a blessing in disguise that I lost my job right after my first kid was born. That's a horrible time to lose your job.
Right.
But at the same time, it just kind of pushed us in the right direction. And we ended up in Texas. We ended up through a long couple of years. You know, I was working a job that I really wasn't passionate about and wasn't, frankly, very good at. I'm a lot better at singing songs than I was paving roads. So if you're ever
writing them.
Yeah, and so it's crazy to think that you could be working at a pavement company, think music was dead in the water, you know, that your music career was over, but continue to put out music, and one of those songs that you put out with your buddies in a van in Texas, you know, like me and the boys rolling around, could go and become a gold record and get us a record deal and go platinum and become our first #1 hit. Like, it's just a story that defies all the odds.
So you got some big stuff coming up in September, is that right? Early
September.
September.
I got a new record dropping.
Yeah, you got a record dropping called Black Bandana, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell our viewers what to expect on this album. Tell us about it.
Well, first off, you know, Black Bandana is a symbolic thing in itself, and it started because I really, pretty simply, like, I ride motorcycles, and when you don't want to swallow a bug when you're riding a motorcycle, you put this thing over your face. So I was riding to meet my now manager, and you know, it was really our first meeting, I think, and I rode my motorcycle down, hopped off the bike, went in, shook his hand, and he was like, "What is that?" And I was wearing it just like this around my neck, and he was like, you should keep that, right? It's unique. It's just something that makes you maybe a little different from the next guy. And I was like, shoot, I don't think anything of it. It's pretty second nature to me. And then it evolved into this symbolic thing of, when I look back on my story and the losing your job and moving to Texas and having to go to work for the pavement company, and despite all the odds, having an independent gold record that goes on to be a platinum #1 hit, right?
Right.
Despite all of that, the common theme is that we never gave up, right? My wife never gave up, my family, my friends, my band, my crew, we never gave up when a lot of people would have thrown in the towel.
Right.
And so we were like, what's the exact opposite of waving a white flag? A black bandana. And so it kind of took on this life of its own of just our story plus the visual, and it's becoming this brand, and I'm really excited about it. So it's a story of resiliency, really. Like, I would call it like unwavering hope, just being relentless until you get where you want to go. And I still don't think that we're there. Like, that's what the record really embodies to me. Is it speaks to people that know where they're going, but they haven't got the opportunity yet. But they're going to stay ready. They're going to put in the work. They're going to keep their head down. And keep marching forward until they get there.
I love that, and I gotta tell you, the viewers are gonna love that, your fans are gonna love that, everyone's gonna love that. Thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure.
Corey, we cannot wait till you hit that stage in a little bit.
Me either. That's what I love to do.